Okay, so I switched out that bit and put a hackamore on. And look at that, she's standing nicely. Last time I had her in front of the hay too, and she decided to move off before I even, managed to get my foot in the stirrup, so. Okay. Totally different feel. She's walking, she's not all revved up and acting kooky. Yeah, I don't think... Well, I'm glad that I tried the bit because, I try to have an open mind and it might have worked better for her. But it didn't feel that way. Ooh, ooh. Oh, not going like that. She's still a little touchy, but I feel more connected to her. She's quieter. She didn't try to scramble over that wood. She's walking loose. Yeah, I'm much happier. Now, she usually tries to scramble around this corner, and I'm not doing anything. And she didn't take that corner at all. She was going down a different direction, away from the round pen. Ooh. Ooh. So this is that corner where she fell. Yeah, she feels much more relaxed. She doesn't feel like a rock underneath my saddle now. She's standing quiet. She took that corner now, just with not so much drift. Mind you, we weren't going very fast. Yeah, this is totally different. Presenting a totally different feel. Ooh. Back. No. Good girl. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little different. Put my hand on her pole. Should have taken my hand away. There's a good girl. Sometimes you just need to switch things up a little bit until they figure out what you're asking for. So I'll try it with my hand again. Well, this is a bad position. Her butt's up higher than her head. That's making it uncomfortable for me to lean forward in the saddle. Probably for her too. Okay. That's a girl. There. Good girl. Okay. So now I'll try it without the hand pressure. There. Okay, now she was trying to take the reins away, but she still did bring her head down. Okay, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but at least it was something, right? So now we've got to work on that. So I don't just want her bringing her head down. I want her bringing her head down and in, okay? So, but for now, I'll be happy with down. Try again. There it goes, okay. I'll do one more time. I barely even touched the reins that time. That was good. Okay, I don't want you turning back for home when I didn't cue you to. Ooh. Now that I've got her mind, I'm going to do some hip yields, and I'm going to start off slow, and then I'm going to start, you know, I don't want it so that I have to creep around her, okay? But I do it right now because she's unsure. But now I've got her mind, I'll put my leg on. There it went. Good girl. Okay, so now I'll do the left side. This is the side she's better with. Good girl. Okay, and do the right side again. This time I'm not going to creep. I'm just going to put my foot back. There's the foot. There. And that was really nice. She brought her head in too. So I'm going to reward her by letting her move forward for that. Yeah, I don't think I'll be going back to a bit. Right now she's, here I drop my reins. And she's maintaining her walk on her own. Now she might pick up the pace as we come through there. She tends to do that. Oh, maybe she slowed down on her own. I didn't pick up on the reins. Ooh. Back. Oh, that was nice. Okay, it was sloppy, but I didn't expect her to put her head down yet. Eventually, I want her putting her head down and in when she backs up because it's healthier for her. So I really wasn't anticipating her doing that. Now, I was going to bring her out to Jimmy's Road, but she's doing really well here. And I want to keep her in this frame of mind of, hey, I'm with you, hey, I want to do some work. So I'm going to just stay on the pasture, and then I might go back out again later on in the evening and take her out on Jimmy's Road, and then do some of what I'm doing here where I'm keeping her mind busy. There's lots of leg yields and whatnot. Okay, so what I'm going to start doing now when she starts to leak forward is I'm going to back her up. And also every time that I whoa now, there will be some exceptions depending on how she feels when I'm out on the trail. But when I'm in this pasture here, when I say whoa, I also want to back up. And the purpose behind that is it is going to get her working off of her rear end. She's going to start shifting her weight back more. So when I ask for a whoa, she'll be anticipating a back up. So she'll, instead of just stopping, she'll curl her back and rock back on her rear as she stops in anticipation of backing up. And that's, you know, baby steps towards collection. So, no, we're not going to have anything to eat. We're working right now. And she's getting much easier in her mind when I block her. Like there, she wanted to turn back around, and instead of taking her energy and going in the circle that she was going in and pointing her back where I wanted, I just blocked her. I prevented her from turning her head at all. And in the past, she would get very, very touchy when I would do that. Ooh. Now she's not. Now she's much more confident. And you don't see a lot of that. That's the first time I've asked her to come up around that stump. Now I'm gonna bring her around this tree. She is getting a little touchy here because they're new things, and of course Chica just called out to her, so that might make her a little bit more nervous. Ooh, good girl. Ooh. Ooh. There. Okay, she feels so much better. Yep. So I'm gonna collect up my reins some. Okay, so now I'm gonna see if I can get a gait out of her. There it is. Okay, so I had a gait for a bit. Ooh. Maybe I can get her to gait coming if I pick up the reins a bit. She has motivation to go down here, so sit back and squeeze. No, we're still trotting. Now it's flat here though. That's her nervousness because I'm on her face and then I asked for speed, so she's not relaxed enough to do that, so easy. Now I got her all bothered and that's my fault. That was just too much mental pressure. Okay, so I'm gonna ask for a whoa. She's really bothered. I asked for too much. She couldn't handle it mentally and she fell apart a little bit. So now we'll just recenter ourselves and have a little relaxing sit here and okay, that was good. I moved my legs and she didn't get all upset. So we're gonna go forward. Easy. Okay, take her this way. I think that's the first time I've done the turn in that particular fashion. She's still a little bothered, so I'm going to start exercising her mind. Okay, so now I'll ask for her to lower her head. Alright, next time she does that, she's going to run into pressure. I don't want her yanking her head down. That was her running into pressure. All I did was gripped. I didn't pull back. So she ran into her own pressure there. So we'll try again. There, that's what I wanted. Hopefully that showed up on the camera. See how her head's down nicely like this? Okay. It's not perfect, but that's where I want her to get in the habit of putting her head when I pick up on the reins. This is just her with her head normally. So I just give her a chance to relax. Okay, so I'll do it again. There. Okay, it was slight, but I got her head down without her taking a step back. Try again. Alright, there we go. Now she came back to me. There. Okay. She's a little touchy now, so we'll move out. Just go for a walk around here. Let her decompress a little bit. I'll take her this way so that when I take her in amongst all those stumps that I haven't brought down to the ground level yet, she gets a little antsy. So I'll just take her out here, which doesn't have to worry so much about stuff like that. Ooh. Back. Okay, so the next time I ask for back up and she yanks her head down like that, I'm just going to hold the reins so she runs into her own pressure. Maybe we'll get that stopped. Now, I think that I had something to do with encouraging that, because when she put her head down like that, that's when she got the release of pressure when I was asking for her to lower her head. There. That was her checking to see where the reins are without snatching them. So that was a nice change. Okay, so I'm going to ask for some leg yields now. I'm going to start off on the left side because that's the side she's easier with. Okay, here comes my leg. There, that's nice, good girl. Okay, so I do it on the right side. This is the bad side. That was some real nice effort. Okay, so I pushed for a little bit more because I wanted to put her into a mental bind. Bring her up to some hay over here. Ooh, there you go. So I put her in a little mental bind there because I really wanted her to move that hip over. So I put a little more pressure on my leg than I normally would. And it was intended to induce a stress response, and she had to work through it. So now that she's becoming more confident in me and in herself, and she's already done some preliminary stuff just by being in the round pen by herself, now she's starting to work through a lot of these mental stressors much better. So I can up the mental pressure some more, just with things that she already knows. So it just gives her an opportunity to work through that kind of stuff. And so that's what I'm going to start doing more of. I'm going to ask for more from her, more effort, because I know she can do it, and it will just strengthen her mind more. And if you look here, like, here's my hands. I mean, I've only put my hand down on the rein simply because I don't want it to go up near her head and startle her. But she's standing here. Here's my hands. She's standing here on her own. I'm not holding her here. She's more relaxed. She's starting to teach these woes as coffee breaks. She's still turning her head around and touching me. But the stomping is a lot less, and actually I think a lot of this shifting of weight and stomping is because we've got these late season flies that are just landing on her legs and tickling her, so that's a bit annoying. But all the biting flies are gone now, pretty much. So she's definitely improving. So we'll go and do some more movement here. Oh, she wants to take me back to the hitching tree for me to get off. That's not going to happen. Ooh. Back. Back. Oh. Try that again. Back. There. Good girl. Okay. Trying to keep her straight. Trying to keep her straight. If I put my leg on her when I'm asking for a back up a little faster, then that's too much pressure for her. No, we're not going that way. We'll go back to the gate. No, I might do an exercise up here where I bring her up to the gate, open the gate and go through it. I can move her hip around pretty good, so I might have the body control of her to be able to do this, but we'll see. If not, then whoop. Okay, now I gotta bring her head around here slow. Step up. Good girl. Okay. There's the hip. Now, I don't have the shoulder control to bring her shoulder in. She's trying for me. I'm just not getting her close enough to that gate. Whoop. So I'm going to scoop her around this way. Alright, there goes the hip. Oh, she just doesn't want to get close to that gate. So what I'm going to do is bring her up to the gate. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask for another step forward. I'm going to keep my outside leg on her. Well, get your hip over. There, get your hip over. That's it, good girl. Okay, that was a lot of mental pressure. Okay, so I'm going to try bringing her up beside the gate again. Okay, give her a little break. There's the chewing. Okay, so now I'm going to try and bring her hip over to the right, so it's her left hip moving over to the right, because I want to bring her right up beside this fence. She's thinking. There. Okay, so that's good enough for now. I gotta get her comfortable with coming up alongside a fence like that. I want her to scooch right up beside the fence. So I'm going to bring her up under the cedar tree here and do some trimming work. Ooh. There's a good girl. Step. No. Step. Ooh. That was good. Okay, so I'll let her come back towards the round pen. because she did what I asked. Real nice. Easy. Ooh. Back. That's a good girl. Okay, so this is good too, because Chica's calling to her and it's really drawing her back here. So it gives me the opportunity to do some speed with her and then have her move out slow at a walk. Easy. Easy. Walk on. Easy. Hey. Okay, so she's really scrambly now. Easy. Now I'm going to spin her around to the left after that fit. She's locked up now. Back. Good girl. Okay, I'm going to move her hip. There. Back. 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 Good girl. Back. So I'm backing her up because she's locked up in the rear. Back. 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 That's it. Good girl. Okay, that was a panic attack. And it offered me an opportunity to put her through more panic. Okay. So she was spinning to the right, which is her default. And then I took her around to the left until she got to the point where she just locked up. She couldn't move back anymore, or she couldn't turn around anymore. So her back end locks up. And so that's when I asked for a back up. If her back end is locked up, she can't back up. The front feet will go back, but then the back end is locked up, so the back feet aren't moving. In order for her to continue to back up, she has to unlock those back feet. So we'll try again. See how much smoother that went? She's had a minute to just chill out. And I think this is a good opportunity for me to continue on with this. I don't want to get her too revved up. Ooh. Back. Good girl. Okay, so when she stopped there and she rooted her nose out like that, it was fighting the bridle and she was heavy on the front end. Now with reining horses, you will see when they come to a stop, they'll put their head out like that in a similar fashion. But I mean, if you're just watching the video, it's really hard to tell the difference from a nose rooting out to a nose sticking out for balance because they're sliding. She was not sliding. She was heavy on the front. So now I'm going to ask for back up. Good girl. I'm going to move her hip over because it's in the wrong spot. There. Good. Back. 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 Good girl. Okay, so I take her around to the left. There we go. Walk on. now she's resistant. She'll want to go away. So maybe we'll have another fit and we can do some exercises to not fight, but work through the fit. Back. There's a nice back up. Good girl. Walk on. Ooh. Okay, so we'll stop and have a rest here. Okay, so she's not relaxing, but she's not fighting me to move either. I wonder about this head turning, if someone's done a lot of flexing with her to try and stop the, as a way to deal with her rearing fits, or if she's doing it on her own and no one's really taught her to do that excessively. She's just turning her head because she wants contact with me. I'm not sure. Because she's bringing her head back to the flex position. And I haven't been doing flexing with her because I don't want her noodle-necked. And I think that in her case, if I overflexed her, that's what I would get. Until we get these fits out of the way. Oh, there she's chewing. Okay, and there's a big sigh. Okay, that means it's time to turn back. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to stay out of her way. She can go back whatever speed she wants. And she's choosing to walk so far. Ooh. Back. That was a nice, straight, smooth back up. Okay, go back again. Nice and smooth. There, she's much more with me. She's asking to turn around now instead of trying to haul me around. Ooh. There's a good girl. Back. Good girl. Alright. So now I'm going to ask her to go faster. Easy. Ooh. Back. Good girl. Now we'll just stand here quiet. It's getting a little jittery. So move that hip over. That was too much. Bring this hip over. It's better. Good girl. Okay, now we'll stand here quiet. to start blocking her from doing that, see what happens. And you can feel this sigh is about to come. Their head's coming down, waiting for either a sigh or for her to chew. Or for her body to relax. Okay, now she's got a foot cocked. So we'll go to the right this time. Bring that shoulder over. That was nice. Okay. Whoop. Back. There. Good girl. Okay, so we're gonna lope back. Well, this is more than a lope. Ooh. Back. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, now I'm going to ask for that right hip to move over. There it goes. Good girl. Okay, now we'll walk back. Easy. Easy. There, okay. Ooh. Walk on. Ooh. Back. That's better. Good girl. There's some chewing. Me just adjusting myself in the saddle. She's getting good at just standing. Okay, I'm going to bring her shoulder to the left. Okay, so now I'm just going to ask for a walk. And she might try to speed up, and then we might get a little explosion. Easy, easy, easy. Ooh. Back. Good girl. Okay, now I'm going to ask for her hip to come over to the right, so left hip over to the right. Okay, here comes my leg. That was nice. Good girl. Okay, walk on. Easy. Well, see, if you had paid attention to where I was putting you, you wouldn't have got stuck. Ooh, back. See, these backups are getting smoother. She's starting to drop her head down. And because she's anticipating rolling back onto her rear, her weight needs to be back there. And she's also, so because she's anticipating backing up, when she stops, she starts tucking her bum underneath her, which is a much more healthy way to stop. Okay, there's that chewing. Her back just relaxed. I don't know if you heard that little creak in the saddle. It's because she cocked a leg, relaxed her back. Okay, so now we're going to go back, and we're going to walk. And I'm really going to get in her way this time. If she breaks out of a walk, I'll give her her head, but if she breaks, I see, getting right in her face. Now she's maintaining a walk on her own. She's waiting for instructions. I'm going to wait till the last minute. Whoop. Back. Good girl. So now that we've moved past getting the preliminaries of her anxiety under control, I mean, she obviously does have anxiety, but if we sat and focused on only her anxiety before I did anything else, we wouldn't be able to help her anxiety past a certain point. Now she needs to start thinking more, because I'm getting more technical about what I'm asking and what I expect of her. It's not just go left, go right, go backwards, go forwards, go faster, go slower. You know, now I'm moving parts of her body. I'm moving them in a particular way. I expect her to start doing things with her body in anticipation, because the same thing happens every time I ask. For example, when I ask for a whoa, I want her to start rocking her weight back and then stopping, not stopping and then rocking her weight back to back up. And I'm getting more particular about maintaining speed, so rating herself, and I'm asking for more effort when I move in these hips. I don't want to start doing too much moving her shoulder yet, because that's part of her spinning rearing fit, so I want to ignore that part, and I'll just mostly move her hip, or I'll bring her around smoothly in a turn rather than turning her on the haunches. So I'm not really in a good position here to move either of her hips, so I'm going to step up a little bit, and then I'll move her right hip over to the left. So I'll probably take about 2 or 3 steps. So step up, 1, 2, 3, here's the hip, and it's just going to back into debris. There. Okay, walk on. Easy. 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 At least you won't rear when we go to the left. So that was more mental binds to put her in. So I was trying to take her to the left, as she was resisting by backing up. Okay. And then it got to a point where she just basically ended up sitting down on her butt, because she wasn't giving me her head to the left. And she decided to stop on her own. So now she's a bit out of breath, had a bit of a panic attack. And we'll just take a coffee break. Let her work through it. See, I'm doing these things at home because it's safe here. If I were to fall off, she's got nowhere to go. She's already home. I don't have to worry about other vehicles on the trails or cars or trucks on the road. All I have to worry about is her, and of course some of the footing. Now she's got a leg cocked, and she's relaxing some. I'm waiting for some chewing to happen. Her mouth is still tight. You might be able to see that in the camera. There's the chewing. Now, if I had a bit in her mouth, I would not have felt comfortable getting that aggressive. So now I'm going to ask her to move her right hip to the left. No, actually I'm going to move the left hip to the right. And then we're going to do a whoa and a back up. And I'm not going to pussyfoot around about it now. I'm just going to put my leg back on her, so you might see her flinch a little bit. It's not because I'm kicking her, it's because I'm moving my leg at a normal speed. Okay, before I would creep my leg, like if you can see my hand, before I'd creep my leg slow like this. Now I'm just going to put my foot where it needs to go. So I'm not hitting her, kicking her. I don't have spurs on. She doesn't need spurs. She's very responsive off of just the slightest leg pressure or rein pressure, so I don't need those to be more precise. I'll explain more about spurs in my blog. because I don't want there to be confusion between using a tool for precision and using a tool as a pain control device. That's not how spurs are supposed to be used. Anyway, so I'm going to move her hip off to the left, and I'm not going to pussyfoot about it. I'm going to ask it as if, you know, she doesn't have ticklish sides, she doesn't have anxiety problems. I'm just going to ask her to step over, and we'll see how that goes. So here comes my leg. Look at that. That was beautiful. Okay, she's leaking, so I'm going to ask for a backup. There. I want her to stand. So sometimes you've got to get through these ugly things. And then after the ugly happens, suddenly you've got a horse that's calm and responsive. There's a big sigh. Okay, so now I'm going to ask her right hip to move left. This is the one that she has trouble on. Anything I ask her to do on the right side, that's where her trouble is. So I'm picking up the rein. She knows that a cue is coming. See, her ears have come back. She's getting ready. Here's my leg. There it goes. Good girl. She still had some confusion and did some backing up, but okay, so now I'm going to bring her back to the round pen. At a walk. Ooh, that was beautiful. I barely touched the reins. I just used my seat. I lifted my hand a little bit, and then I gave her the verbal cue, and she stopped, and I got so excited about that, I forgot to ask for the backup. Okay, now I'm going to move her right hip to the left again. Okay, here comes the leg. There, she's getting much better with that. Walk on. Walk. Easy. Easy. Ooh. Back. Go back into a tree. I didn't say anything about turning around. Hey! That was her biting my foot. That's the first time she's ever offered to do that. She didn't actually bite down on it. She just kind of put my foot in her mouth. Back. There's a girl, nice and smooth. Okay, bring her around to the left. We will walk back. This is her rating herself. I haven't gotten in her way yet. Just that once when we turned around and she wanted to go faster. Whoop. Back. There's a good girl. Back. Good girl. There's a foot cocked. Good. Good. Alright, so now I'm just going to turn her around normally. We're going to walk back. And then what I'm going to do is leave her tied to the tree because she needs some tying training. And I'll do a little bit of shifting firewood so I'm close at hand in case something bad happens. She gets hung up, but she'll have hay in front of her, and I just want her to get used to being tied and standing quietly for tying for long periods of time, because I do a lot of backwoods fishing. So I ride back to a lake, tie the horse, fish for a few hours, and then go home. So she's got to get used to tying. Ooh. Back. Good girl. So that's my ride for today. Lots of exciting stuff. Oh, we're having a little problem here. There, now stand. There, okay, you alright? You gonna stand? Yeah, there's the chewing. Okay, so yeah, there was ugly stuff, which I'm sure was exciting to watch. Sometimes, like I said, you gotta go through ugly stuff to get to the good stuff. And for her, it was lots of mental pressure on this ride. We'll see how she does. Usually the next time that I ride her, I was going to take her out tonight, but I don't think I will. I let her sit on that, and then I'll ride her tomorrow. And usually the day after a ride like that, it's beautiful. The horse does everything that you ask. So hopefully my prophecy will turn out to be true, and we'll see tomorrow.